All right, so we've used a pharmacist since probably the time we were born. The pharmacists manage all of our medications, manage a tremendous amount of things that are even not medications, or perhaps just don't fit under our general perspective of prescription medication. These are some of the different types of pharmacists or roles that pharmacists serve in, from academia and teaching to ambulatory care in the physician's office, to community pharmacists, the retail ones that you know might be a retail that is a chain or might be a privately owned. Could be a hospice pharmacist there for you during the end of life. It could be a pediatric pharmacist there at the beginning of your life. It could be a medication therapy management pharmacist, someone who takes a look at those folks who have 10, 15, 20, 25, yes, 25 medications on board and tries to make sure that the therapy is optimal. Could be a nuclear pharmacist managing your nuclear tests, or it could be an oncology pharmacist that's managing radioactive substances that are trying to defeat cancer within the body. Could be a health plan pharmacist and many others. But I ask the question of, do we really know much about a pharmacy and how it works? Here's an interesting map of a pharmacy, or perhaps the pharmacy process from beginning to end. Here is your physician and patient interaction, in which a prescription is sent through a hub. Your initial transaction hub is an e-prescribing transaction hub, and that is mostly going through SureScripts in the United States. In your step 2, it gets to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy holds it. Most times, they will automatically fill your prescription if you don't ask for it, and so your prescription goes through a secondary transaction hub. Here you have Relay Health or MDON that take it to the pharmacy benefits manager, who's actually managing your prescriptions on behalf of a health plan. You rarely have the ability to purchase just pharmacy insurance alone. This person sends this insurance information back through the transaction hub, through Relay Health or MDON and others as well, to the pharmacy. And now the pharmacy has an adjudicated claim where they know the medication that was prescribed, and they have filled one of those medications. Now, when the patient comes into the pharmacy, there is the point of sale system which has some information that sometimes actually goes back at the end of the day to the pharmacy benefits manager. This is an absolutely intricate process that happens a great deal of times, around 4.2 billion times in the United States in a retail space every year. Pharmacy benefits managers, there's a lot of information that we can talk about on another day, but these are folks that are pass-through companies that take money from point A, your health plan most likely, which then of course takes the money either from the government or from your employer or perhaps you directly, and they push it to the pharmacy. These folks have a tremendous amount of power, and we'll talk about pharmacy benefit managers another day. How much is spent on pharmacy each year? This is by the Drug Channels Institute, and this is a very comprehensive report that comes out every year. This is my primary source of seeing how companies have really grown. They take a look at all of this information from primarily shareholder presentations. But take a look at CVS. Largest company. They essentially have $83 billion of annual revenues from pharmacy, but of course 32 of those billion come from mail order pharmacy, and so really Walgreens Boots is actually the number one at $54 billion coming from the chain drugstore. But you can tell that the top 15 pharmacy chains control 75% of the business, where it's actually even more tightly controlled than that, because you take a look, it's 0.6, 0.7, 0.7. So really the top 5, top 7 control about 60% of the business in the United States, and absolutely incredible control over the market. And remember, all of these folks are running through this process daily. Every second, really, for these major chains, they have operational centers that are running 24/7 sometimes. And so it's a magnificent place for disruption to occur, because it's a market that hasn't really shifted drastically almost at all in 15 years, maybe even a little bit more than that, no major shifts. So I look forward to your questions.